mechanisms within the markets that are created. Trees take long to produce fruits. There are quite a number of species that farmers are already able to utilize, and they have got quite a lot of breakthroughs in terms of returns within a very short time, such that youth can even lease land and they are able to make business. So
smallhold farmers have been advised to adopt practices that increase productivity through reliability and resilience of the free production systems.
Improve the direct benefits to the farmers that are participating in the program, but at the same time it's increasing significantly the carbon stored in the landscape through the integration of these beneficial trees into farming systems. By integrating beneficial trees into their cropping systems, local value chain development and equitable market access. So it's really working with communities to provide sustainable opportunities for livelihood development.
The aim is to accelerate and massively scale up the adoption of contextually appropriate agroforestry practices. Restore Africa will restore 1.9 million hectares of land and directly support the livelihoods of 1.5 million smallholder farming families. Shaidat Nasaku, UBC News.
M23 rebels have vowed not to vacate the captured towns in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo, even with the deployment of the East African Standby Brigade as planned. The spokesperson of the rebel group, Major Ngoma, says that the standby forces should instead go to the DRC and join them in pacifying the eastern parts, since their agenda is about peace and security. As Philip Aguta reports from Bunagana, Major Ngoma, however, assured the people of Bunagana of safety and urged the refugees to return home and go on with their normal lives.
It's coming to 2 weeks since the M23 rebels overran the armed forces of the Democratic Republic of Congo at Bunagana town and took control of the entire area. Days later, the East African Community Heads of States, in a joint meeting, agreed to deploy the East African Standby Force Brigade to reclaim Bunagana town and other towns under occupation and control of the rebel force. However, in an interview with the M23 rebel spokesperson, Major Ngoma, at his office in Bunagana, he said they are not scared of the proposed deployment of the East African Standby Brigade, and they will not vacate the occupied towns.
Sisi hatuwezi kimbia. Sisi ni Wakongomani. Tuko ndani ya Kongo. Nchi yetu Kongo. Mimi sidhani watakuja pigana na M23. Hapana. Kama wanakuja pigana, sisi M23 tunapigania haki zetu. Sisi hatuko kikundi inaua watu. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni anajua discipline yetu vizuri sana.
Major Ngoma appealed to the East African Standby Brigade leadership to join them in keeping peace and security in eastern DRC, following the alleged negligence of the Kinshasa government to offer effective leadership and services to the people.
Okay. Sisi watu warudi, sisi tunapenda watu warudi nyumba yao. East African Community aiseme haikuja pigana na M23. Hawakusema wanakuja tufukuza ndani ya eneo, hapana. Watakuja tafuta amani juu ya Wakongomani, na sisi tunapenda hiyo amani, tunataka hiyo amani. Raia yetu iishi ndani ya amani. Watu wasikuwe na wasiwasi. East African Community iwezi kuwa tupiga sisi. Hapana, hapana, hapana. Watakuja tafuta amani, tutatafuta amani sisi wote juu ya Kongo, juu ya Wakongomani. Watu wakuwe na wasiwasi.
Major Ngoma, however, assured the displaced people who ran to Uganda to return home and continue with the business since they have opened the border with Uganda at Bunagana.
Tunaomba wa refugee yote biko Kisoro, biko Bunagana, biko na makempi hii warudi kwao nyumbani. Sababu masomo iko masiku kunapita ya watoto warudi shuleni. Tunapenda watoto wakuje waanze masomo, waanze soma. Wakuje wasikuwe na wasiwasi. Hakuna mtu hawezi kuja kutushambulia hapa. Tunapenda amani. Wakuje, amani iko, watoto waendelee masomo. Na tunaomba na government ya Kongo ikuwe government ikuwe serious. Ikuwe serious, sisi tunapenda mazungumzo. Na community international tunasema sisi tunapenda mazungumzo. Tuko tayari, hatupendi vita. Tunapenda mazungumzo.
Major Ngoma also underplayed the directive by the military governor of the North Kivu province, Lieutenant General Constant Ndima, that banned goods from passing through Bunagana border.
Gisi General Constant Ndima alisema, aliandika, M23 tunashangaa sana hiyo maneno. Sababu gani? Sisi unaona Eastern ya Congo, kila kitu inatoka Uganda. Unaona hii hata piece of chalk hii inatoka Uganda. Chakula inatoka Uganda. Kama yeye anasema hii iko na production gani? Iko na vitu gani, anategemea wale wakongomani wengine watauza hiyo vitu wapi? Transport ya vitu itapanda na eneo watapenda wazunguruke, waende Ishasha, waende sehemu zingine ya Kasindi, au waende Ariwara, juu chakula ipita njia gani watapitisha. Hiyo yote ni vitu mbaya sana. Government ya Congo haipendi kabisa raia yake.
With every party claiming superiority over the other in Bunagana town, time will tell when boys are differentiated from men. Philip Aguta, UBC News in Bunagana town.
Thank you.
UBC News tonight. BioNTech, one of the leading vaccine manufacturing companies in the world, has launched construction works for the initial African mRNA manufacturing facility in Kigali, Rwanda. The site is touted to become a node in a decentralized and robust African end-to-end manufacturing network, and all vaccines manufactured will be dedicated to people residing in member states of the African Union. The groundbreaking event at the sidelines of the CHOGM Summit were graced by Rwanda's President Paul Kagame, World Health Organization's Director General, representatives from the African Union and the European Union. Our reporter Samuel Sendono is the one in Kigali with more updates to this.
Of the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Kigali, Rwanda, BioNTech, a biopharmaceutical company, has launched construction works at the first mRNA vaccine plant in Africa.
A gift to Africa, the first shovel of earth to be moved for Africa's first mRNA vaccine manufacturing site. Big congratulations.
The facility, sitting on about 30,000 square meters, will be equipped to manufacture vaccines to the needs of African Union member states. Rwanda's President Paul Kagame described this latest development as a pivotal moment in boosting Africa's capacity.
This ceremony is a result of the African Union's decision last year to take action on vaccine inequality. Chairperson of the African Union Commission, I thank you for your tireless effort to make this happen. This facility is one of 3 identical sites planned by BioNTech in line with the strategy, including Senegal and South Africa. So here a big thank you to everyone who a critical role in getting us to this point.
The same views were shared by other speakers at the event.
The Partnership for African Vaccine Manufacturing, launched by the African Union in 2021, set Africa on a course to end our continent's dependence on imported vaccines. This was done not only in the urgent context of the COVID-19 pandemic, where Africa was once again last in line, but also alongside the establishment of key continental initiatives and institutions in the recent year.
This groundbreaking for this new manufacturing facility is so important. The best way to deal with inequity is to put the tools in the hands of those who need them the most. I'm grateful to the countries and multilateral organizations that have supported this effort, especially the African Union and the European Union.
Closing the business forum, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson took note of the current harsh economic times, but he was, however, optimistic that the Commonwealth countries will steer steadily and dock at the station as a unit.
So now is the time, my friends, to turbocharge those advantages, because over the next 5 years, the Commonwealth's total GDP is forecast to rise by nearly 50% to $19.5 trillion. And these are the markets, super fertilized markets that will power growth and prosperity and create jobs in our countries, and at the same time help to ease those pressures that we all face on the costs of living. It's going to be the biggest in the world. The biggest in the world. 1.3 billion people, promising to lift 30 million people out of poverty and generate $450 billion for African nations, which, by the way, is far, far, far more than Africa could ever receive in development aid. Our wonderful, wonderful Commonwealth, that great institution, has the super fertilizer to be sprinkled across this extraordinary grouping of countries, and above all, to help to forge a new Africa.
The Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting will be open tomorrow, and leaders are expected to agree on common actions and decisions that will improve the lives of the citizens in the Commonwealth nations. Samuel Senono, UBC News in Kigali, Rwanda.
CHOGM 2022 is at the neighborhood in Rwanda, and UBC TV will keep you posted. Now, there is a section of some members of parliament that have backed arts teachers in the country with their ongoing strike, wondering why government resolved to threaten them instead of handling their matter amicably. They have asked government to avail funds through a supplementary budget request to improve the pay of these teachers as it was done for the science teachers.
Teachers' strike followed a government decision to increase the salaries of science teachers to a tune of 300%, leaving them out. More than 120,000 teachers laid down their tolls in protest of what they termed as discriminatory enhancement, as negotiations to put the matter to seem to have hit a snag, with government now issuing threatening statements to the teachers to return to their workstations or risk to be scrapped on the government payroll. Now, a section of members of parliament have weighed in to support the teachers' industrial action, questioning why government would issue such threatening statements other than opting for a round table.
The write-up or the writing that has been sent, that document, is illegal, it is wrongful, it is illogical, felonious, and everything you can think about illegalities. It's even illegitimate.
To know that the teachers are doing badly, especially the arts teachers, most of them are engaged in border business to try to raise an income. So it was wise for the government, when they're trying to consider the salary for the science teachers, they should have equally thought of the arts teachers.
The Trade Unions Act and other laws, that what the teachers are doing is legal, is legitimate. And we want to encourage the teachers to continue with their legitimate demands.
This strike has entered day 9, with these teachers carrying forward the same script regardless of what they call threats and intimidation from government. Now, the concerned legislators have threatened to recall the House from recess and cause a supplementary budget should government fail to harmonize with the striking teachers amicably.
This matter is very important. From here, let us begin. We recall Parliament and discuss about this matter comprehensively. Science is very critical, but at the same time, we also need arts. But the issue is, there is what we call subject integration. You cannot teach sciences without the use of the humanities. That's why even in A-level, even those doing biology, physics, PCB, we are doing general paper.
They say what the teachers are doing is legal and government ought to support them.
Now, the teachers are invoking their constitutional rights, particularly Article 29 and Article 40, to demand for what is legitimate.
Shamim Naiga and Gloria Gutabenje, Parliament.
Shamim Naiga and Gwita Benji reporting from Parliament. The Forum for Academic Staff in Public Universities has warned to resume the industrial action that was suspended in March 2021 if salary enhancement to the agreed targets is not addressed in the year 2022-23 financial year. The acting chairperson of the association, Tom Omute, asserts that they have written to chairpersons of university councils informing them to intervene as they have been stretched enough, thus will react.
The academic staff in public universities have warned to resume the 2021 suspended industrial action if the unfair salary enhancement is not resolved in the 2022-2023 financial year.
So the appeal is simply include that amount of money in the next financial year's budget, which was finally read the other time, such that we do not go to a state of industrial action that is likely going to disrupt activities at the universities.
Omute decries the delayed implementation of the salary structure will push them to strike, since it is the language seems to be understood by government.
The industrial action has been in abeyance. It has never stopped. It is on, except it is not active. All that we shall do is to activate it once we reach the unfortunate conclusion that that is the only option. And I still strongly appeal that we shouldn't reach that point.
The chairperson Muas advises government to engage them than issuing empty threats, which will not solve the problem.
We advise the government to engage. That's why, for example, right now we have not declared the date. We expect fruitful engagements. But if the fruitful engagements do not come, then we set the date and we set, the industrial action begins. So these are realities that we need to address. It's not about threats, but rather we believe in engagements, constructive engagements, to have these matters addressed.
The engagement will depend on what government has to offer.
What is on the table is what we discuss. We either agree or disagree. Disagreements are healthy, agreements are healthy.
The staff say the unfair salary enhancement has affected them and created a big gap between them and the professors, the vice-chancellors whose salary was increased in 2021, leaving them with no option than to resume the strike. Miriam Umcha, UBC News.
Members of the European Union delegation in Uganda have advised government to double their efforts and address the issue of food scarcity, especially in Karamoja region. During a follow-up meeting with the NRM top leadership at the party headquarters in Chadondo, the ambassadors promised to put a mechanism that is in line with Uganda government policies in implementation of the democratic governance facility.
Members of European Union delegation in Uganda have held a closed-door engagement with the top leadership of National Resistance Movement Party to follow on issues that include the political situation in Uganda, socio-economic situations, human rights and climate change.
As a party, our key goal is when we fight poverty, we believe peace and stability that we look for will be achieved, and the living conditions of people will improve. And that is what we all aspire for as leaders.
The European Union ambassador to Uganda and head of delegation, His Excellency Attilio Pacifici, said in this agenda of reinforcing their relationship, it is important to highlight the good things, which takes strength and boldness on both sides.
We managed to secure the approval. It's almost $1 million that we will put in this initiative to support you. So it's a significant amount of money. It doesn't matter about the money. What is important is that this event will be important to show how Uganda is committed to take a lead in Africa, in the continent, to support the initiative of the African peer review mechanism under the African Union, to show how important youth are, how important it is to empower them, how important it is to do so with a partner which has always been there and will always be there. That is the European Union, even when there are big risks.
In the closed session, NRM and EU ambassadors discussed issues of human rights, where the Secretary-General of the NRM party, Richard Todong, said is an issue of other institutions of government.
For them, we have requested that they should encourage further dialogue between the political actors within the country. That is the only thing that will build a firm foundation for democracy in Uganda, with each party respecting one another.
The issue of food scarcity was top on agenda of this meeting.
They observed that they had read about some children in Karamoja starving, the global issues about the high prices, some of which are beyond our control, and they too realize that perhaps subsidy may not be the immediate solution, but they believe that in situations like Karamoja, government should do more in order to ensure that there isn't any starvation, especially if there is food surplus in many areas.
The first meeting of this kind was held last year at the office of the Prime Minister, which gave the two parties an opportunity to reinforce their relationship. I'm Nafka Farida and Daniel Lukomwa in Kampala.
Today in history.
On this day in history, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni was awarded an honorary doctorate by Hubert H. Humphrey Institute of Public Affairs of the University of Minnesota in the United States of America. This was in recognition of his role in the fight against abuse of human rights, democratization, and other fields.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello, this is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Congratulations, congratulations. Oh, one good day.
Good day? But I haven't entered any competition.
Owadechi, since you use your phone every day, we have randomly selected you as one of our loyal customers, and you have won a brand new pickup.
Hey, so how do I get this pickup?
The pickup is in Namanve. All we have to do is quickly bring it to you. You know, we are delivering many of them. So, just send us 100K for fuel via mobile money and we'll bring it to you.
But Chief, I'm in no hurry to receive it. Namambe is just here. Keep it at your warehouse, give me directions, and I will get time to pick it up.
Vow nawe. If you don't have money, just say.
Tonfera. Never send money to strangers. Winners of competitions are contacted through official channels and are never asked to pay for anything. Stay tuned for what Kasozi does next.
Tonfera. Refrain from unnecessary engagements with strangers over the phone. This message is powered by UCC, MTN, Airtel, Bank of Uganda, and NPSP Association.
Football packages, great entertainment, sports, local content, telenovela, the movies. There is something for everybody. Go TV, this is where great stories live.
Get the best entertainment for any budget. With GoTV, you will have great entertainment for as little as 13,000 Uganda shillings per month. GoTV, great stories, Zidiwano. GoTV Uganda, love it.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Multi Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602.
The Kabaka Birthday Run 2022 is back on Sunday, 3rd July 2022 at Lubiri Mengo. This year, the run will be physical and will be flagged off by Sabasaja Kabaka at 7 a.m. Come out in large numbers once again to Lubiri Mengo. Run for a cause to fight and end HIV by 2030. Buy your ticket today at 15,000 Uganda shillings from Airtel shops at Tobani Center, New Taxi Park, ShopRite Building, Benchwanka Street, Majestic Brands Office at Bulangi, in Mengo. You can also buy your ticket using Airtel Money. Dial *185*5#. Select Payments, select Kabaka Run, and follow the prompts to complete the payment. Kabaka Birthday Run 2022 is brought to you by UNAID, CBS, BBS, and Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Oil and Gas Moment, brought to you by Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey. The development and commercialization of Uganda's oil and gas resources is being undertaken through 4 flagship projects, which will bring in investment over $15 billion into the economy. The Kingfisher project will produce 40,000 barrels of crude oil per day at peak. The Tilenga project will produce 190,000 barrels of crude oil per day at peak. The 1,443-kilometer East African crude oil pipeline project will transport the produced crude oil to access the international market via the Tanga port in Tanzania. The Uganda refinery project will process up to 60,000 barrels of oil per day to provide petroleum products to the Ugandan market and its immediate neighbors. Additional exploration work is ongoing in the Kanyotaba and Ngasa areas in the Albertine Graben. For more information, visit www.pau.go.ug. Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey.
UNCC and Namunkekerab Industrial Center presents this year's Karamoja Peace and Love E-Live concert happening live from Moroto City, Boma Grounds this Saturday, the 25th of June, 2022. Don't miss top music icons like Evie Trace, Lil Keys, Rodman, K-Trax, Legless Lopeta, Brand Timers, Jipman, Jovia, Elia Papa, Nathaniello, G Wheels, Boy 10, Mose Fiza, Dile Rockstar, Ras Demon, DJ Sammy, MC Mzee G, MC Jonas, and many more. Catch the vibe, the swag, the fireworks, and all the fun free. Live on UBC TV. Learn more on PDM program and peace efforts in the region.
Karamoja Peace and Love E-Live concert is proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development, Uganda National Cultural Center, NRIC, Namunkekera Rural Industrial Center, National Culture Forum, Uganda Musicians Association, and Balam Marketing Agency.
Flavor. When we're together, the vibe is pretty alright. Our taste is pretty awesome. We are Uganda's #1 fruity refreshment. Enjoy Mirinda Fruity, Uganda's #1 fruity refreshment.
UBC News Tonight. We'll come back from the break, and thank you so much for watching. Minister for Kampala Hajat Minsa Kabanda has entered the second day of sensitization of communities about the Kampala Metropolitan about the parish development model and those eligible to benefit. Kabanda, however, expressed concern over the politicization of the parish development model program, with the belief of NRM members being the only eligible beneficiaries.
Day 2 of sensitizing masses on the parish development model in Kampala Metropolitan has kick-started in Nansana.
Ekituufu sirina kitegeera parish model mugenda kuwa bantu kaashi oba tugenda kugula mbuzi na nkoko.
Sensitizing communities at Nansana municipality, the minister noted the politicization of the parish development model and warned leaders to focus on improving the welfare of Ugandans other than using them for their personal gains.
People have mixed this program with politics. Politics is the main issue, especially in Kampala Metropolitan. Because people think this is a program for NRM and they should not be involved, and they think NRM chairperson shouldn't be involved in this. Yet we could not leave we could not miss the representative of the NRM chairpersons on board. So they are put on board. So sometimes they miss that misconcept of people thinking that maybe it's for NRM only. We have to rectify it that it's not for NRM, it's for everybody. And I encourage everybody to join They should not misinterpret this program that is for NRM, but it's come to assist people out of poverty, out of job. It's a job creation program, so they should join the program.
In Nansana, residents expressed fear of not benefiting from the parish development model if much emphasis is put on only agriculture.
Yemu ku municipality ezisinga abantu abaki abangi. Tulina omuluka gumu guno gw'otuddemu ogwa east guweza abantu emitwalo 2. Tulina ogwa west guweza abantu emitwalo 3. Tulina ogw'ekazo guweza abantu emitwalo 4. Funding eno mu miruka level nga ndaba katono nnyo compared ku miruka emirala gina population nga ntono. Abantegereka honorables.
Leaders allege that the municipality harbours so many tenants, and if they change location, tracing them would be a challenge. The minister asked housewives to utilize the parish development model funds and urged those in need of much money to get yoga funds.
Depending on what you want to do, the commercial officers are going to assist you. It's not only farming, it's other issues. Because we have chicken rearing in cages, we have mushroom growing, and other businesses are also on board. Okay, people are thinking that this money is too small for them. They were thinking of big amounts of money, and they thought they are going to be given maybe 20 million to go with, but this is 1 million per household.
The minister headed to Mukono, where she sensitized masses on the parish development model. The minister commended the organization made by leaders and asked them to keenly identify the persons entitled to receive parish development model funds. The function coincided with the launch of Mukono Governors Friendship Association. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, has moved to slap rewards and sanctions against performing and underperforming agriculture extension workers across the country. The sanctions are intended to check their performances to avoid further failure of agricultural government programs. Government has also designed the e-dairy program, which will be monitoring the extension workers through a GPS system.
District agriculture extension and production workers play a very key role in the development of agriculture sector in the country. They face several challenges, including mobility and lack of enough resources. But while government has managed to improve their welfare and transport, these are yet to perform to their expectations.
I, for one, have not seen any extension service on my farm, but mostly they have been coming, but maybe to other areas.
It's on this basis that government has now moved to slap sanctions against them.
Put a sanction because we are facilitating them. Minister of Agriculture has facilitated the district's production, all these production officers with vehicles.
What the minister was saying is that our system needs to put in place sanctions and rewards. Not only sanctions. Are you getting it? Reward those that are performing well. Sanction those that are not performing well.
This move comes in at a time when government is launching the parish development model, whose success will entirely lie on the monitoring and supervision of these production officers. This move by government has since drawn mixed reactions against the leaders.
I agree with what the minister said. Let the government put sanctions. Because if it doesn't work, you should not get the pay. Otherwise, that's why we give them the pay.
By the way, we should not blame them so much. Sometimes maybe they are not very well facilitated to move down into the parishes or down in the villages to monitor agricultural activities.
There has been a problem with these yoga programs because everything was left with the microfinance support center. And we, the leaders, there was no way you can enter.
According to Dr. Patience Ramigisa, the Deputy Agriculture Extension Commissioner says, apparently there are less than 4,000 extension workers across the country who are far less than the required 25,000 that the country needs. He noted that these extension workers are sometimes overworked depending on the population they are meant to serve.
Currently we have less than 4,000 extension workers across the whole country. And you have more than 5.8 million households in agriculture. So when you calculate, you find that the extension worker per household is between 1,800 or 2,000.
Besides, the government has designed an IDARA connected to the GPS system to monitor all agriculture and production offices across the country. The move is geared at improving their performance and getting rid of the underperforming offices.
We have designed, under the e-extension system, we have devised what we are calling the e-diary. That diary is supposed to capture the daily activities of every extension worker. And we shall get that information in real time, because he's supposed to enter wherever he is. The system is supposed to capture what he's doing.
Speaking at the launch of the Parish Development Door in Nisinjoro District, State Minister for Animal Husbandry Right Kano Braitra Mirama said government has invested a lot of money in this project, asking both leaders and extension workers to take lead for it to succeed.
We have also looked at the enterprise selection as one of the biggest problems, and we are advising the leaders to observe the following landmines so that we don't have a problem or this program tumbles.
A team of ministers from ministries of tourism, trade, ICT and local government are in Rwenzori sub-region to conduct a sensitization campaign about the parish development model, a government program geared at enabling Ugandans improve their livelihoods. The head of the delegation, Kanutom Butime, and also Minister for Tourism, says that all is set for the fieldwork operation, starting with Kasese and Wudibujo districts after meeting the parties to carry out activities.
Ministers on this tour are ministers who hail from Rwenzori region. Fortunately, we were able to have all the members of parliament from this region, and the purpose of this meeting is to organize ourselves towards the sensitization for the parish development model, the sensitization program in Rwenzori region. It has been a very, very successful meeting because most of the members of parliament for this region have also attended. And we shall move systematically beginning tomorrow. You must remember that the President and the Cabinet directed the ministers to go to the areas they come from. Parliament, as you remember, directed all members of Parliament to go to their constituencies. And therefore, ministries also have facilitated the respective ministers, the respective teams, being led by the Ministry of Local Government, by the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, and I'm extremely grateful to those ministries which have facilitated, organized the literature, and everything required.
Security Minister Jim Muhwezi has rallied residents in the district of Kunjiri, Kabale and Kanungu to tune into major local radio stations and televisions for a joint parish development model address, which is scheduled for this Friday, 24th of June at 8 p.m. Ministers Muhwezi, Bariomunsi, David Bahati, Sarah Mateke and Henry Musasizi will convene in Kabale district this Friday for a joint radio PDM talk show. Robert Onyango has this in detail.
The Parish Development Model Mobilization Trade for Security Minister, retired Major General Jim Muhwezi, has entered the second day.
Ne musako esente zigenda okujja musako zammwe tezigenda kuddayo wa Kampala. So mulina okuzikuuma obulungi bwe muzoonoona mwe munaaba mufiiriddwa.
At this meeting comprising of major parish and lower level leaders from Buhunga sub-county in Rujumbura County, Rukungiri district, the minister was accompanied by local leaders to sharpen the mindset of the would-be beneficiaries.
We are talking about ordinary things. Ibikwata kurugamuchi isenti kandi umuntu akachira keke yigwanga iji nibajigabira gabira ha omukisenge. So what you are seeing coming now bimula bibijja lwakubanti mwalonda bulungi mwalonda omuntu atuuka wa mukisenge.
On matters concerning the community, leaders wanted the central government through the minister to avail them clean water, electricity and improve on the infrastructure as well.
Nkoko LC1 chairperson yagamba amashanyarazi nagarabaha maini nahi gatakora aba maini hinahubatire bikondo bakatamwe waya ne waya bakahikaha kuziba nko mu ruko gwa Changa.
We were happy to note that some people have started to engage in some productive sector. Some of them are already making wine out of bananas. We are very grateful, and the product is good and marketable.
All the government programs are going to be covered under this project development model, because you cannot have economy if people have what to sell, but the roads are not there, the electricity is not there, water is not there. So all the programs are going to be covered under this program.
With the district holding its general PDM induction for leaders and stakeholders, as well as launching the exercise next week on Tuesday, Minister Jim Muhwezi, however, rallies the sub-region to tune in to different local radio stations this Friday under similar arrangements, where 5 ministers will address them from Kabale district.
Tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. we are going to meet in Kabale as ministers from this sub-region of Kigezi, the districts of Rukunjiri, Kabale, Ruchiga, Kisoro, Kanungu and Rwanda, to talk about the parish development model. So I appeal to everyone to tune in. All radios will be covering us live. So people should tune in and hear the government policy in details, which we shall give you tomorrow.
Muhwezi is also appealing to the striking teachers in Rukungiri district and the country at large to resume to classes as government moves towards remunerating all its workers. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Craft Silicon Foundation has bridged the gap of digital divide following the introduction of a digital bus that has equipped Ugandans at all stakes with computer skills.
Equipping the community, especially youth, with free information, communication technology skills and facilitating access to internet, Craft Silicon Foundation has bridged the unemployment gap in the country. At Emmanuel College Kazo, a Kampala suburb, students celebrated the digital gap brought by Craft Silicon Foundation.
Me personally, at this age I am, there's some things I can't ask from my parents. I can't go to my mom and tell her, Mom, I want a packet of pads. And I am glad that I have some computer skills I can use to earn that little income that can cater for my needs as a girl.
Ankunda says computer skills acquired have exposed them to the digital world and empowered the girl child. The Chief Executive Officer, Craft Silicon Foundation, Priya Budabati, asked students acquainted with computer skills to use them eligibly and create businesses.
ICT infrastructure and applications, as you are all aware, is creating immense opportunities to economic growth and development in the country. This has been our main objective as a foundation, helping the youth and the girl child.
Moses Echedu, a trainer at Craft Silicon Foundation Uganda, says many would have been equipped with skills but were hindered by COVID-19.
We are now trying to get back on our feet to see to it that we achieve even a bigger target that we have achieved so far of 6,000. We would have achieved more, but because of the COVID impact of the last 2 years, we have just been able to achieve these numbers.
Head teacher Emmanuel College Kazo, Paul Chigoba, says they were faced with a challenge of computers.
The prediction is that 7.5 billion people across the planet will be using digital tools, ICT. That means 90% of the population of the world will be digitally literate. The jobs of the future are in the digital world.
Over 6,000 people have been trained in the last 3 months in computer literacy in a period of 2 to 3 months. Hence the need of more digital buses, especially upcountry, to equip the underprivileged with computer skills. So that Kaye, UBC News.
The Parish Development Model mass mobilization exercise in the Greater Mpigi enclave has kicked off amidst the low turn-up of district leaders who didn't mobilize stakeholders to attend the sensitization. State Minister for Health, General Duties Anifa Kawoya, the State Minister for Lands, Sam Mayanja, and area members of Parliament were the key facilitators for the Parish Development Model in Greater Mpigi enclave.
A delegation of 2 ministers and members of Parliament of Greater Mpigi started a 3-day mission to sensitize masses on the Parish Development Model. Day 1 of the Parish Development Model in the Greater Mpigi engulf started at Gomba District, where the district leadership claimed that they were not aware of the training and the actual day of the program, thus they did not mobilize the masses. Here the ministers called off the meeting, citing that the quorum was not the required number for the training. Since the key stakeholders were not available, only 22 members out of the 55 to 100 required numbers attended. After intensive meeting with the top leadership of Gomba District, the team later managed to visit one of the model farms and also held a radio talk show. On the second day of the sensitization meeting on the Parish Development Model, at Butambala District, the meeting still flopped after the district leadership and key stakeholders did not turn up for the training.
And discipline is discipline. And if you continue with him like this, as you say, sabotaging the government programs, you start from the this one, and we have this. And we are going to start from there. A government program. This program is the child baby of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda. This program is an initiative drummed up by the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament. You not send people for 2 weeks away. Go.
What has happened today, it's a symptom of a bigger problem. The problem is that the ministries are disjointed. Each one of them communicates a different thing. So the officers down there, they get confused. The Minister of Gender communicates something different from the Ministry of Local Government. The Minister of Finance also communicates something different. So we are here, but another ministry had communicated that the meeting is going to be on Tuesday, another one on Monday. So it's really difficult. There should be proper coordination of the ministries up at the top level before they come down at the grassroots. But nonetheless, for me, I'm happy about Parish Model. The program is moving on well, and I'm hopeful that people will be able to benefit out of it. These technical officers have done a good job. We should not judge them on what has happened today. What has happened today is a problem from the top. They have gone at the grassroots, they've educated people, they've identified beneficiaries, enterprise groups have been formed. I've monitored that program, and I'm confident that it's moving on well.
Anifa Kawoya, the State Minister for Health and General Duties, called upon the district leaders to put aside their political differences and embrace government programs to foster development and increase household income. Zahara Abigaba, UBC News.
UBC News tonight. We take a short break. Keep it with us. We have more on return, and thank you for watching.
Na MTN Momo Nyabo echora kuri chonka.
Amazina ganje ni banyeta Kansime Clofas nimbela lugazika kwa Mbara ninye muhanguzi we motoka ya MTN Momo Nyabo waka elizoba nye nahangura motoka ninsima MTN Munonga ninsima abantu bonna abezungiro mu kintu ekyo kubasa kufisyaho ebirabo bya MTN mwebale Munonga muhangare mubereho
waka na MTN Momo Nyabo echora kuri chonka tawe mitware ebiri no kweyongerayo aha mobile money yawe obase kuba mwabanyamudisha barayihangurire Toyota Succeed 3 na sente S7 twabahanguza barukike 12 buri wiki tuzakwaye motoka abiri nina na sente za mobile money eziri kurenga ubuhumbi bubiri.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602.
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone and enjoy free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 Uganda shillings. That's free 2 GB for the first month and free 1 GB for the next 11 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings with free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 shillings only. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Are you a player in the tourism sector with a struggling business following the COVID pandemic? UDB, in partnership with European Union, is providing financial assistance to businesses operating in the tourism sector. You can access subsidized loan with grants, loan with a tenure of up to 5 years, free business advisory services, and free environmental impact assessment. Visit www.udbl.co.ug/call for applications to apply. Deadline for submission is 31st October 2022 at 5 p.m. For more information, please call 0414 355 509.
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Oh, see. You see, I was just trying to get the documents to register for Airtel Money.
You don't need the documents. You just set it for register.
What's going on here? He sells things from the shop, and behind my back, he gets the money and gives it to his girlfriends.
But just get Airtel Money Pay so that all money comes direct to your business wallet, and only you, the owner, have access to it.
Just dial *185 *10 hash, and now you are on. No waiting.
Huh? This insanity is sweet. Give them also.
I only take Airtel Money Pay. It's easy and secure.
Yes, become a safer and more efficient cash-free business today. Easy.
No mixing your business money with your Kameza money. No, that's efficient.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Thank you so much for watching. It's UBC News tonight. We now go straight to business. Uganda and South Sudan are to hold their first ever joint business forum in South Sudan's capital, Juba. The private sector-driven event, planned for July, is aimed at promoting commercial and investment interests, improve the welfare of the citizens, and further bolster bilateral and diplomatic ties between the two countries. Dennis Igoa has this.
Uganda's exports to the Republic of South Sudan are picking up again after a major slump due to war. The estimated exports is between 350 to 400 million US dollars per annum. Before the disruptions, exports were approaching $1 billion US dollars, says Brigadier General Ronnie Balia, the Ugandan ambassador to South Sudan.
Exports from South Sudan to Uganda are between 80 and 90 million dollars. Bilateral trade and investment has created enormous benefits for both countries, including employment creation, market access for Ugandan agricultural and manufactured products, and increased revenue for both businesses and the governments.
Ugandans are the biggest diaspora in South Sudan, with an estimated population of about 500,000 people. Most of the Ugandan citizens are involved in trade, mostly informal and small-scale enterprises. To consolidate the gains on the trade and diplomatic front, an inaugural business convention will be held next month in Juba.
In the past, governments could survive by their own muscle, but today, there is no government that can survive without using or working very closely with the private sector.
Our members are hungry for information. For a long time, they've been reaching out to us to ask us for credible, legitimate information about how they can come and invest in South Sudan.
However, there are still challenges that impede trade between the two EAC member countries. They include compensation of traders for losses suffered, delayed or failure to pay the suppliers, non-tariff barriers, rampant attacks on traders and truck drivers, and poor infrastructure. According to Uganda's ambassador, some of the issues are being pursued bilaterally for an amicable solution.
On its part, the South Sudan government is conducting a verification and validation exercise to determine who the genuine claimants are and who the fake claimants are.
The business forum is going to be able to address some of those issues, and then from the business forum, the issues which will have been identified will now be taken to the other forum of the JPCs, where the government officials, particularly the ministers, will be able to address those issues during the Permanent Joint Commission.
At the event, the public and private sector and business partners from both countries will share information, have business-to-business interactions, and field excursions within Juba City and its environs.
So the goals of South Sudan is to trade very successfully with Uganda. The goal of Uganda is to trade very successfully with South Sudan and benefits.
Let's remove the trade barrier. We will move forward.
Dennis Sigora for UBC News in Juba.
The Uganda cricket Cranes have had intensive training ahead of the Friday fixture against Italy in the ICC Challenge League's Group B games. Uganda, the host, has not had a good start to the games after losing to Jersey and Hong Kong before securing victory against Bermuda. Uganda needs to win the game against Italy to continue lighting chances of qualification to the global qualifier.
For tomorrow's game, obviously a big game for us because we need the 2 points. But most importantly is we're nice and relaxed. We're trying not to put ourselves under too much pressure. We again just reminded the guys about the processes. We shouldn't worry too much about the result. We just need to go out there and execute our job, and in the end the result will take care of itself. Again, just keeping it simple, making sure we build partnerships when we're batting. We have certain KPIs in place. If we hit those, it will get us to the target that we need. But just a reminder to the batsmen again to take responsibility and bat for the team.
Especially after when you're a lot more positive, and we gave the guys completely off yesterday just to relax and recover. We've got 2 big games coming up, so it was important that the guys got a good break, and we're having a nice little run around today. Yeah, I think we all know that our destiny is still in our own hands, but it's about taking it one game at a time, making sure that we keep following our processes, which we've done for 18 months. And I'm looking forward to us doing that tomorrow. I think one game at a time, make sure that we're in control of our destiny. Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's a new wicket at Chambogo. It looked like it had a bit of bounce this morning in the game for Hong Kong against Bermuda. So it will be interesting to see how it plays throughout the day. We've got a few options. I think we could go easily seam strong. If there is a bit of bounce, we've got guys like Jumemia.
And that will come to the end of this first part of UBC News tonight. We'll have a big arrangement at 10 p.m. Please do not miss. My name is Micheal Lukomwa with Elizabeth Nakakone and the whole team. We wish you the best of the evening. Let's catch you then. For now, bye-bye.